They've seen a lot of big games here at Alabama, won a whole lot of them too. They know how to prepare for game day. Break out the crimson and the houndstooth. Listen for the Denny chimes. Walk the Walk of Champions. Pay respects to Nick and the Bear. March with the $1 Million Band. Say it loud and proud.
Roll Tide, roll!
And above all, never do game day on an empty stomach. Welcome to Rama Jamas. Here, college students and Tuscaloosa locals sit side by side, sharing biscuits, Cokes, and a love of the Tide. If football is the front porch of a university, Rama Jamas is the family album, a 3-decade-old trove of memories and memorabilia, championships, and cheeseburgers. It's the work of two men who have kept tradition alive and a college town fed. Order up!
Stopped by the old corner store, closed down a lifetime ago. Mama loved their cup of joe, and a quarter got you a single smoke. Johnny's house is just up the street. Mama fed you till you couldn't eat, till you couldn't hardly get out your seat. Like you had some place to be, running away from there. Never wondered if I'd ever care. Bags packed, going nowhere. Couldn't tell me I was wrong. Now I'm rolling on down that old road, searching for that hometown soul.
I'm Gary Lewis. I am the founder of Rama Jamas.
Michael, Hebron, Hebron, and I'm born and raised New Yorker. And I ended up in Tuscaloosa in 2013 when my youngest daughter came to school here. And went to the first home football game her freshman year, and I have yet to miss a home football game.
You'll find Rama Jamas right next to Bryant-Denny Stadium at the intersection of Paul W. Bryant Drive and Wallace Wade Avenue. For decades, the building was a filling station, and then local businessman Gary Lewis had himself an idea.
I started the Houndstooth in July of 1988, and I started Rama Jamas in September of 1996. And I just happened to be back over here one afternoon, and I drove by, and this spot had a for rent sign on it. And I said, if I want to do the restaurant business, I'll just do it myself. I mean, I'm right here next to Bryant-Denny Stadium. If I just keep the food menu simple, serve breakfast, hamburgers and hot dogs, maybe it'll work out. I don't have anybody to blame but me because I'm on my own. So 27 years later, we're still here. So I don't remember exactly what I cooked first, but I think it was probably scrambled eggs. I guess that's my legacy. I went from Jack Daniels to scrambled eggs.
When deciding what to name his new restaurant, Gary cycled through dozens of ideas, plays on Bama and Tide, and then it hit him. Why not use a name that was already on everyone's lips every game day?
I get a lot of free advertising, dozen or so times a game with the students. They're calling my name out, 102,000 people, so maybe they'll connect us with that name.
Open from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., give or take, Rama's offers scrambled eggs and biscuits in the morning, burgers and chicken for lunch. And if you're brave, you can take a run at a national championship.
We've got the national championship burger that's got 18 ounces of meat. And why 18 ounces of meat? I can ask this to a lot of people that come through, and it's obviously 18 national championships. We've got a BLT that's got 18 strips of bacon, here again for the national championships, one for each year. So Hopefully this year we'll go to 19.
During the week, Rama Jama's is a sleepy diner. Locals swing in for breakfast before work. Students and professors pop by for a bite between classes. Everyone talks about the Tide every day of the year. And then fall comes around.
Game day is another animal.
It's a sea of people. We have to shrink the menu in order to serve several thousand people in a day. We'll have a line outside that door at 7 o'clock waiting for us to open the door. And then it'll just keep going and going and going and going.
We opened up Rama Jama's for business on a home football game day. I didn't know what game day would be like in the restaurant, but I knew it'd be busy. It was a total disaster. We were back there trying to fix hamburgers and hot dogs per order as the customer wanted. No lettuce, no mayonnaise, no onion, blah, blah, blah. We had tickets on the back line to prepare to the floor. And people were getting so upset and so mad at me. That was the last time I ever did that. So I said, we've got to make a change here. We put all of the condiments in buffets out in the restaurant and nothing but meat and bread. And now that's the way we do it.
A non-SEC game is more fun because those tickets tend to be attainable to the non-season ticket holders or the locals. And the people that come to those games want to experience the whole game day experience. They want to go see the Elephant Walk. They want to come here and get a burger or breakfast. They want to go to Galette's and get a yellow hammer. They want to go to Buffalo Phil's and get a filibuster. Then they want to go down to Innisfree. And they want to hit everything. Your typical SEC game, people want to do what they've seen on game day, college game day, the highlights, and on ESPN or CBS Sports. It can really, truly be the one and only time that they're ever going to do it. So you love to see the excitement. You love to see them taking the pictures in front of all the memorabilia or holding the footballs. Or we're fortunate enough to have all the recent CFP rings, championship rings. To see people put them on and take their photographs with them. And it makes it a whole lot of fun to come to work.
Every booth in Rama Jama's comes with an up-close view of Crimson Tide history. Photos, flags, footballs, helmets, relics of Alabama's unprecedented and unparalleled dynasties line every available surface. When you get your picture on the wall at Rama Jama's, you're bona fide Tide.
The only way a player gets a ball in here is he has to eat here. I've had coaches say, so-and-so, can we get, has he eaten here? No. You got to come eat. If you want to be on the wall or in the legacy, you will have had to have had a meal in here. We're proud to say we have served more number one draft picks, first round draft picks than any other restaurant in the country, and we've served more Heisman Trophy winners than any other restaurant in the country.
I used to have to pursue the players to get their pictures to put up in the restaurant. But after we got popular, they would come to me and ask me if they could put their picture in here, which I obviously did. And it changed again when the NIL and the transfer portal and all of that stuff started, especially NIL. Well, now they want money to have their picture in.
Of course, having so much memorabilia in-house can have its downsides.
I've made the mistake of rearranging some pictures into the bathroom, and it never fails. That person will come in with their grandkids. I say, Gary, where's my picture that we put up in here? Oh, God. I said, I don't know what I did with it, and it's in the bathroom. So I just quit doing that altogether.
We have been broken into 3 times, and there is literally outrage, and every time within 24 hours, the person is caught. You just can't rob the place where the police eat and where Alabama fans go. That's you've crossed the line. It's like robbing the church collection plate. It doesn't go over well.
Every customer has their own favorite relic, but Michael knows exactly which one he likes best.
It's the picture of Bear Bryant lifting up Gene Stallings after Texas A&M beat Alabama in Sugar Bowl. You know, it was kind of the passing the torch. You know, Stallings worked for him, took over Texas A&M, and it was like, and Bear Bryant's face is, he's elated. You know, he's ecstatic for him. And to me, that's the nature of college sports. You know, that's just the epitome of it. You know, you bring a guy in, you train him, you know, you want him to go on, you want him to do well. And if you did your job, he should be able to beat you.
Rama Jama's opened its doors long after Bear Bryant walked the sidelines. But there's a bit of a connection to Tuscaloosa's current most famous citizen.
Some people compared my looks to Nick Saban. And before he got here, I never once got asked to sign an autograph or have a picture made with somebody or not. And then after he got here, because of the likeness, it was pretty funny that people would come and ask a hamburger cook for an autograph or a picture. That's always been, and of course I played it. I played it up, you know, as far. I'm not very smart, so I used it as a marketing tool. I said, you know, if these people want to come in here and eat a hamburger because I look like him, because maybe I'm the closest they'll ever get to him, which is exactly what I am, the closest I'll ever get to him, then let's play it and sell a hamburger and move on. We've had a lot of football players come through the doors over the years, but to my knowledge, Nick Saban has only been here one time when he was on the set of the Morning Joe Scarborough show. And I understand why he can't come by.
Saban may not come by, but pretty much everyone else in Tuscaloosa does. And serving that many burgers to that many people is a whole lot of work. Gary loves the Tide as much as anyone alive, but after 2 decades on the job, even his energy was waning. So one day, a few years back, he made the decision to let Rama's go. And it was Tuscaloosa's good luck that the right student heard the news, Michael's daughter.
And about a month or so before she graduated, she said, "Dad, Rama Jama's is for sale." And I heard that he's been trying to sell it for a couple of years, and the only person interested wants to turn it into a retail store. Literally, I was sitting right here, and my dad had gotten up to walk around and look at the memorabilia in the restaurant. And Gary came out with a set of keys. He goes, "You want the key to the front door or the key to the back door?" And I said, "Well, depends on how this conversation goes." And we had a 10-minute conversation.
The conversation went very well.
And I just stuck my hand across the other side. I'll take it. He said, "Damn it, I should have asked for more money."
I could tell I've slowed down just a little bit. You know, after about an hour on the grill, my old back starts hurting. And I was trying to find the right time to do it, you know. And everybody said, "Well, you'll know when the right time is. It'll come to you." So, in the end of August last year, I said, you know, it's been a long day, and Michael, I felt, needed to put his footprint on it, you know, and by me being around, that didn't happen as quickly as I think he thought it should, which was fine. I wanted him to put his footprint on it.
You know, the Cooks have been here 20 plus years. You know, Mr. Gary was here 26. He stayed 6 years after, you know, he was supposedly going to leave. You know, we joke around and say he's retired 3 times. But, you know, there's a lot of love and sweat went in here when he built it.
Do I regret selling it? No. Do I miss it? Sure.
Both Gary and Michael understand that Rama Jama's is more than just a place to get a bite to eat. It's a living connection to Alabama's glorious past.
I think what Rama Jama's means to the students is that it is an institution. I think it's a rite of passage when the students come here to come through the doors at Rama Jama's. Just as if they were going through the library or other places, you know, that are Alabama.
You know, my first year, I had freshmen come in. You saw them do their college campus tour. Then you saw them move in with their parents. Then you see them when their parents come back to town. You see them all, you know, all the way through college. And then it's very, very heartwarming. And when they come in, when they leave town and say, hey, I've graduated and I got to get my last dose before I leave town. You know, they bid their farewell and they come get a burger or breakfast, and it's really, that's when you know you're doing the right thing.
You know, I'm happy that they associate Rama Jamas with Alabama football. I'm happy that when the people come through, they have a wow moment, enjoy the pictures, and hopefully get a good hamburger or a good breakfast, and then that they pass it along to the next generation. So that's really been cool.
The big laugh is when you're here for a game day and you're setting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, seeing the droves of people staggering down the street from the night before. But to me, the fun is the family stuff. You know, people using this as a place to create memories. You know, when players come in, people's faces light up. Past players come in, people's faces light up. You know, I'd say it's always fun to watch the Auburn bus roll out after a loss and have everybody out here on the corner waving.
I've met so many nice students that have come through, and parents that have come through. So it's just been a pleasure and a joy to meet these people and have them come back and stop by and say hello. I mean, all across America, California to New York or wherever, there were people that I wouldn't have had an opportunity to meet other than doing what I'm doing now.
It's not just what we do. What we do reflects on everything. And our goal every day is to keep that in mind, that, hey, people get off the highway in Birmingham on their way to the beach and drive 75 miles out of their way to come here to eat a burger in the shadow of that stadium, see all the memorabilia, walk the Walk of Champions, and more than likely that is as close as they're going to ever get to experiencing an Alabama football game or what goes on. This is, and my goal has always been to carry on the legacy Gary started.
You know, they could have gone anywhere in town and gotten a hamburger, but they chose us for that particular time. And I was very much appreciative of it, and I wanted them to go away happy. I wanted them to go away not hungry. And, you know, I wanted them to say good things about us.
Young and old, students and alumni, locals and tourists, Rama Jama welcomes them all. Yes, even tigers, dogs, and rebels.
We can have Georgia fans in here, Auburn fans in here, and yes, we'll poke fun at each other, but at the end of the day, we all share a passion for college football and a love for SEC football. And that'll be a common bond that everybody will share. You know, yeah, you're going to poke fun at each other, but at the end of the day, there's a respect and a common ground of the love for SEC and college football, which is truly the amazing part.
Here, the Cokes are always cold and the biscuits always warm. In Rama Jama, it's always game day.
Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Roll Tide!
Stop by the old corner store.
Roll Tide!
Roll Tide!